Okay, so Brazil's economy shrank 1.7% in the third quarter of 2015, deepening its worst recession in 25 years, and starving President Dilma Rousseff's government of taxes as she struggles with a growing fiscal deficit and a vast corruption scandal, especially at Petrobras. The quarterly contraction reported by Government Statistics Agency was bigger than the median forecast of 1.2% in a poll of 33 analysts.
On an annual basis, Brazil's gross domestic product dropped 4.5% in the third quarter, the steepest decline since the beginning of the current data series in 1996.
The GDP registered a 1.7% drop in the third quarter of 2015 compared to the previous quarter. The interannual comparison of the GDP registered between the third quarter of 2015 and the third quarter of 2014 showed a drop of 4.5%.
Rousseff's unpopular austerity efforts have foundered as the recession shrinks tax revenue faster than she can trim spending, eroding the credibility of her finance minister and leading Standard & Poor's to cut Brazil's credit rating to junk. Household consumption fell 4.5% from a year earlier as unemployment hit a 6-year high and consumer prices jumped nearly 10% in 12 months. Investment fell 15% from a year earlier, declining on a sequential basis for the 9th straight quarter. Output from the services and industrial sectors also fell sequentially for the 4th and 6th straight quarters, the longest slumps on record.
Looking at the service sector, which has the greatest weight on GDP, around 71%, the fall in transport and commerce stands out, with particular focus on cargo transport. Both of these reflect industrial activity during the quarter, which represented a drop.
Financial markets expected the poor growth data after months of grim indicators. Brazil's currency, the real, edged slightly lower, and the benchmark Bovespa stock index recovered less than 1% from a 2-month low. Other emerging economies in Latin America and Africa have struggled this year with slumping Chinese demand for their commodities, but none is suffering as dramatically as Brazil, whose political and economic crises have inflamed each other. Rousseff struggled to pass key fiscal measures this year as her approval rating fell to single digits and the mood in the capital turned toxic as probes revealed a political kickback scheme funneling billions of dollars out of state-run firms.
And we'll wrap it up in Asia. China, to be specific, where the central bank says there was no basis for the yuan to continue to devalue and says Beijing will keep the currency stable following its admission into the IMF's benchmark basket in a victory for Beijing's campaign for recognition as a global economic powerhouse. The decision to add the yuan, also known as the renminbi, to the special drawing rights basket of the IMF was an important milestone in China's integration into global finances and a nod to the progress Beijing has made with reforms. To meet the IMF's criteria, Beijing has undertaken a flurry of reforms in recent months, including better access for foreigners to Chinese currency markets, more frequent debt issuance, and expanded yuan trading hours.
If the basic exchange rate doesn't change, then we will unceasingly push forward our market reforms and systemic improvements. We completely have the ability to maintain renminbi exchange rate stability at a reasonable and balanced level. Will the renminbi exchange rate devalue after joining the SDR? I think such concerns are unnecessary.
And that's about all for today. We thank you for watching, everyone. Live from Channel's global headquarters in Lagos, Nigeria. I am Woes. Do have a great day, and I'll see you next time.